Hey, this is Andy. I've just got back from quite a good run. I just ran um, up Cambrai um, and back home, and my time while I've been running has been amazing. It's been such a good time just to commune with God, um, to listen to Him speaking to me, to be talking to Him, and yeah, I just want to share a few things that are on my heart after this run because. Yeah, I feel really inspired right now and really motivated to do some things. Um, so, first of all, um, um, I've wanted to do this for a long, long time, and I used to do it when I lived in Coventry in the West Midlands. Um, and it was basically I used to run a community disco, um, basically for families, for all ages, really. Um, a non-alcoholic event, a non-alcohol event. Uh, Basically, very simple format: disco, karaoke, um, and a bit, and maybe some fun and games. And food-wise, bring your own food, bring your own drink. But again, keep it non-alcoholic if possible. In fact, what am I saying? Keep it non-alcoholic. Alcohol is not welcome. Um, So and also I'd ask that people didn't bring caffeine drinks. I'd challenge everybody to try an evening of fun without caffeine. Um, I'd even go as say don't bring overly sugary drinks and don't get too high on sugar because it's when people go a bit mad. Sugar, caffeine, and alcohol. But I can't really say. But personally, I'm not the great. I still drink sugary drinks sometimes, but I don't drink caffeine drinks anymore either, and I don't drink alcohol drinks. And yet, I can have a fantastic time when it comes to music. If you see me when I'm DJing at the roller rink in Poole on a Friday and a Saturday between 6 and 10 p.m., which is my residency, my regular DJ gig, where I do uh, basically DJing and karaoke is available also. I do a request show, so there's a big part of it. People can come and request tunes. Which I can't admit, sometimes I don't like because I don't like the tunes people want me to play, if I'm totally honest, and just want to play me what I want to play. But no, it's in that. I guess there's a disclaimer of well, you choose the track, you're responsible for it, and it does give people that chance to express their free will, and choose whatever they want, whether I like it or not, or other people like it or not. They can, uh, yeah, choose exactly what they want to hear. So yeah, I do a request show, and karaoke is available. I like to have a sing myself. Sometimes I've got my bongos there. Sometimes play the bongos, um, and if people aren't requesting, then I'm picking the tunes. And also, I like to do a bit of mixing. I'm not a great mixer. I haven't got the experience. My ears are a bit, you know, deaf. So I'm not very good at mixing by ear, but what I am getting good at, and some DJs would say you're a cheat for saying and doing it this way, but I have a software called Virtual DJ, and basically I do some mixing using that. I don't use headphones. I literally just look at the waves and the lines. I have a thing called Mix Assist, which helps match the beats, but there is a level of skill to it because I've got to click. I've got to click play when lines are matching up, and I've got to look at the waves and see when it's a good time to bring in a track over another track, etc., and fade out and all that kind of thing, and time it well. So there's definitely a level of DJing skill going on, and doing that, I particularly love mixing um, what is probably my favorite kind of music, which is dance and trance music from like the 90s or some from the early noughties. That is the decade when I really discovered music. And I mean, I'm into all sorts. Like I love all sorts of music, all genres. I'm, if stuff's derogatory and got really and just messages and lyrics in songs that I don't like, I don't find wholesome enough. Go away, please, my eldest son, Carwin. I'm making a video. Carwin, I'm in the middle of making a video here. You've just ruined it. Oh my days, he's so rude. Anyway. Tell Mum. Tell Mum what? Just seriously, piss off. Go away. You're ruining this video. He's so rude. Anyway, never mind. Say something. Yeah, in a minute. Gosh. If he was making a video, he wouldn't be happy if I interrupted it. Right, anyway. Gosh, there's a snippet of real life in my home. My son disturbing me making a video and me telling him to piss off. But that's me. I am me. Don't try and pretend to be anyone else. So if you don't like me, then so be it. It's kind of like what you get is what you see, or what you see is what you get. That kind of person, really. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. DJing. So yeah, I absolutely love that era. When I like all sorts of music, but yeah, my favourite is dance and trance from the 90s, because that's the decade when 90s is when I really got into dance music. I used to go clubbing. I used to drink a lot, but thankfully now I don't drink. But the music I still really, really like, and still enjoy, and I can enjoy that music now without needing a drink. You should see me when I'm DJing sometimes, and I'm dancing and I'm going man, I'm doing Running Man, and if you see me on the skate ring, I love to dance. I absolutely love to dance, and I don't need it. I don't need alcohol anymore, because something's happened in my life where I've changed. I've changed a lot of things in my life, changed a lot of my ways, and it's led me to find an energy and a life force that within me that, when expressed, is expressed with a lot of joy and a lot of passion and a lot of heart and a lot of happiness, and that happens, a lot when, for me, the right music to trigger that is on, and I play a lot of that music, or I like to play a lot of that music, and particularly there's a lot of dance and trance tunes that, and I remember when I was in, in fact, before I even went nightclubbing, before I got into alcohol, which came from other, reasons. It wasn't necessarily music driven. In fact, it probably wasn't music driven. It was a lot of other things that got me into alcohol. But the music itself, I remember when I was young, I used to lie in bed and I used to listen to some of these dance and trance tunes that were around at the time, and I felt like I was in heaven. Like, for me, it was I felt my spirit floating in heaven, like beautiful melodic heavenly sounds. That's what I felt, and that's what I like about dance and trance music, is that there is like a real beauty in them, and it's not like, um, yeah, there's not that it's about melodies and tunes, um, and they sound beautiful to me, and they're uplifting, and they make me feel good, and I enjoy them. Simple as, and that's expressed when I'm dancing to them. Um, I don't like any music with really, really dark messages or lyrics or whatever. And I do listen to what I'm playing. I do listen to words. Sometimes tracks can be a mix of good and bad. But generally, I think I like to play positive music, and I think I do play positive music. Um, but I guess you could be the judge of that if you were to come and listen to what I'm playing. Um, yeah. Anyway, so my point is that yeah, I like to mix the way that I mix, especially to 90s and noughties dance and trance, and I do a bit of that at the roller rink. So yeah, coming back to the community discos, um, this is why I'm saying, like, my point was about alcohol and it being a non-alcoholic event, and me even saying, you know, please don't drink caffeine if you can stay off the caffeine drinks, like I can't stand all those monster drinks and Red Bull and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I used to go out. I used to go to. I remember when I first tried to stop drinking alcohol when I went out to nightclubs to dance, and I drank Red Bull instead. And I actually remember talking to my grandma and saying to her, "Oh, I had a night out the other day and I was dancing. I was having a great time, and I felt like I felt the spirit of God." I said to her, like when I was dancing, and it was real and it was tangible, and I didn't need the alcohol. And then years later, I realised, oh, okay, it was the Red Bull, because the effects of Red Bull, um, kind of you get you quite high, and um, yeah, just yeah, you're drugged basically, and the caffeine can have an effect and send you a bit hyper. And so maybe it was the Red Bull and not generally just a natural high or a spiritual high or whatever you call it. Um, and so yeah, I kind of thought, and I later gave up caffeine. Quite a few years ago now, I gave up caffeine. I mean, I still eat it in chocolate. To be fair, caffeine is in chocolate, but I don't drink caffeine drinks anymore. And you know, I'm not saying that say, oh, I'm better than you know, or anything like that. I'm saying it because I feel like it's had a positive. It's been for the better. Like it's been an improvement for my life. It's been an improvement for my head. Improvement for my health, um, mental health, everything. Caffeine has real negative effects on your health and your mental state. I believe all of us, everybody who drinks it. It's not just like a one person thing. It's not just those who've given up caffeine and who've realised, you know, they've just realised it, and other people may not have realised it yet or may ever do. But that's the situation, I think, with caffeine drinks. So yeah, I'd like to encourage and challenge people. If you're going to come to if you're going to come to a community disco, because I'm going to try and set these community discos up basically again. I'm going to try and get them going. And if you want to come to a community disco, then um, I would I would definitely recommend don't bring caffeine drinks, but you are allowed. It's not a kind of like a rule, but alcohol is definitely a rule. I mean, I don't know how we can control it, to be honest, because I mean, I have run a pub, so I have had to deal with some stuff and had to kind of control to an extent how the night goes and make sure that everyone's happy and that people getting rowdy and getting out of hand or nasty or whatever get out of the pub. And you know, and I suppose if I was to do a non-alcohol event and people turn up and they're well, first of all, if alcohol is seen, then straight away I'm going to come over and just say, look, please leave. This is not a non-alcoholic event. I don't want to get the police involved, but I will do if you um, basically break the rules. Actually, I don't know if I'd even call the police. Maybe I'd just stop the events. If you come if I get that happen, I just wouldn't do the events. Simple as. If people are going to abuse it, um, then I just wouldn't run the events anymore. I'd be like, well, this ain't worth it. But if everybody who does come is like, if you accept this is a non-alcoholic event and respect that and come along and don't drink alcohol, and don't come intoxicated. Obviously, if you've drank before, what can I do about that? If it shows massively, like if I can, and I'm very very aware. By the way, I'm very very spiritually aware. I'm very very discerning. So I do. I'm very good at reading people, and so if you do, so if people did come having drank alcohol intoxicated, I would probably pick it. You know, if I probably would be able to detect it quite well. But you know what? But it would have to go to a certain level of behaviour where I'd step in and think, well, I need to do something about this. Um, whereas if you're just like mildly whatever on intoxicated on and you're no trouble and you know you're joyful on it, then and you're happy on it, then I'm not really going to complain. But it's when alcohol starts causing problems. It's when caffeine starts causing problems. And for me, I think it's better to stay off it altogether and believe that you'll have a better time if you can get to the place where I've found, and which I believe we can all get to. You'll realise that you don't need alcohol to have a good time. You don't need caffeine to have a good time. You can you can find a thing called a natural high. And you can have a good time and you can dance and be free. And I want to create a space and for people to be together and do that. Basically, I want to do that myself. I love dancing. I love expressing the joy and the happiness in me, even though the world looks dreary at times and there's a lot of rubbish things going on in the world. Yet there's a peace that passes all understanding. There's a joy that goes beyond what's going on in this world, and we all can access that. And it's from the deep wells within us, the deep waters, the deep spiritual waters within us, where joy can be found, even when we're in a joyless world, or even when we're in a dark place. So physically. So I would encourage you. Sorry if anyone was offended by me telling my son to pee off then, or PIS off. I wouldn't say that, but normally only when I'm a bit peed off. And he definitely peed me off. Not at that moment. Right, here comes my wife to have a go at me because I'm making a video and not going to the tip as I should be. So right, I'll leave it there, and watch this space because I really am going to be trying to get a venue for a community disco. I think I've got one at the minute, possibly. It's got to be confirmed yet. But yeah, watch this space. Hoping to aim for Saturdays, 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. As the format's simple, as I said, disco, karaoke, and fun and games. Bring your own food and drink, and have a good time. Chat with people, get to know people, meet friends, dance, sing, have fun. That's simple as it is. It's about community, and that's that. What more do I need to say on that? Okay, catch you soon. Bye.